Hello everyone, Chelsea Rittenauer here, your host for Music Talks, exclusively on the Armstrong Neighborhood channel. I am here with country singer-songwriter Chelsea Biehl. Hello.
Hello.
I'm excited to have another Chelsea on the show. Do you know you're the second singer Chelsea to be on this show?
Really?
Yeah, it's
the
like
second Chelsea.
Yeah, so it's like the year of Chelseas.
It's a lot of Chelseas.
And all three of us are singers, so it's pretty cool.
It is actually
And
really cool.
we all three spelled it the same way.
The same way.
Yes.
Cool.
Chelsea's. What can we say? So anyways, let's actually get to it now. So you're a country singer-songwriter, and you're fairly young. You're 18. You just graduated high school. You're in your first semester at Seton Hill, and we will talk about what you're studying here in a little bit. But before we get to that, I want to talk about how you got into music. So take me back when it first started.
Oh boy. I frankly have been into music and have wanted to be a singer for as long as I can remember. Like, I can't remember the first time that I thought, oh, that would be a cool idea. Like, when I was like 2 years old, I went up to my mom, 2 years old. Like, I don't even remember this happening. And I'm like, Mama, someday I'm going to be on stage. And she's like, you're going to be on stage? What are you going to do on that stage? And I was like, I was just like, I'm going to be on stage. Everyone's going to know my name. And she's like, how do you even know this stuff? Like, you're 2. So it was really weird. But like, I've just always wanted to be a singer. I grew up with, a lot of music in my life. Like, my parents listened to music all the time and I just loved it. And I think as I got older in like elementary school and stuff, I was bullied a lot, and music was kind of my escape. Like, I knew that I loved music and that it was something that I understood and was good at. So it was kind of like it was kind of like a secret superpower, I guess. Like, I would go home and listen to music, especially like Taylor Swift. I loved her music, and even some of her breakup songs would like help me get my anger out at like, oh, these people.
You are the generation of Taylor Swift. See, I was a little old for it, so... But I remember the Taylor Swift with like the curly blonde hair,
yes.
like curls like mine. I talk to girls that are, 10 to 13 now. They don't know that Taylor Swift existed. But you would, because you're a country artist. So like, the country Taylor.
Oh, yes.
Yes. If you don't know country Taylor, look it up. But anyways, back to you.
So, I just... like, through elementary school, I would come home from school and listen to music, and that was kind of my escape. Like, it was my way of just not thinking about that, thinking about, like, it's okay, they can pick on me, they can call me whatever they want, because someday I'm going to be on stage, I'm going to be on TV, and everyone's going to look up to me, and I'm going to do something good with this. I'm going to be a good example. I'm going to show kids that, you might be being bullied and picked on and tormented in school, but you can do great things, and don't let them get you down, because you can overcome it. I wanted to be that.
Mean by Taylor Swift.
Exactly. That was like my theme song when it came out. Like, that's my song.
I had a feeling.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk high school days then. You're a singer now. I did a lot of training personally, because like I went the classical route for years, so like I did all the opera stuff. Just out of curiosity, did you ever take voice lessons? Do you have formal training, or did you just do this thing on your own?
I largely did it on my own. I tried voice lessons when I was younger, but it didn't really go so well, and so I kind of just did it on my own. But I did, as I got older, a friend of mine went to a vocal coach that I started going to. And then now in college, I actually I have like a voice lesson every Monday and Wednesday for like singing art music, more classical singing. So now I'm kind of dipping my toes in that a little bit now.
I mean, that's pretty typical. Most people don't really start taking voice lessons and diving into that whole thing until they get into college. So let's talk about what you're doing in college right now. I know Seton Hill, they have performance majors in classical, sacred music. You can do musical theater, but you're doing something slightly different. I'm
doing music therapy.
So music therapy, they make you have a main instrument, correct? Whether that's the voice, guitar, piano. So what is yours? How does this work?
Mine is my voice. That's why I have the voice lesson. If you're an instrument, then you would have like an instrument lesson in place of that. So yeah.
Very cool. So my own curiosity, because there are younger ones that watch this show, and I'm a voice teacher myself, so a lot of my kids, they're going to be getting ready for college auditions and whatnot. Why did you choose to go for music therapy versus a straight performance degree?
I guess my whole life, I was kind of like, my mom instilled in me too, that singing is it's amazing and I want to do it really bad, but it's a 1 in a million thing and I need a backup plan. So if I went for like commercial music or something, that would give me music, but I feel like I needed something more stable.
Can I pause you really quickly? Because commercial music is kind of a new thing out on the scene. Whenever I was in college I went for vocal performance, commercial music wasn't really a thing. Like these majors have just started popping up throughout the United States. Seton Hill actually has one. They just started a commercial music program, which is very cool. So can you talk a little bit about what commercial music is for people that may not know?
I'm still looking into it a little bit myself because I've considered switching, but it seems like it's more like writing music. Like I know that there are like writing classes for writing music.
Yes.
I know that one of like the job options is like, you can do like literally writing commercials.
Yes.
So like writing
commercials.
And
so
stuff.
they teach you how to write jingles. They teach you how to compose pop songs. Or how to write music for other people. They teach you how to record your own material. So basically, it's for all of you singers out there that don't want to go the classical route and don't want to sing musical theater. It's like pop music, but you get a degree in it.
Right.
Is essentially what it is.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, back to music therapy. So, but you kind of get to implement some of that with your music therapy, correct?
Right. I take a keyboard class, so I'm learning like to play some instruments. I do take a guitar class, despite the fact that I do already actually play the guitar, but it's been kind of cool because I'm learning some different things. And mainly the classes are like, first off, I'm not even taking a music therapy class. All my classes are understanding music. Like I have a harmony class, which is music theory, and I have an oral theory class, which is like hearing intervals and like things like that. And sight singing and stuff. So first off, they're making sure that everybody has all the fundamentals of music that you can understand.
You're basically getting a music degree right now.
Pretty much. Yes.
What you're describing right now is what you do with a performance degree, and then. Is it around your sophomore, junior year? That's when you start taking all the psychology courses and you do the therapy aspect, correct?
Well, I am taking psych this year.
Okay.
So I am in a psych class right now. But I know that as you go along, you're going to move up first in like the levels of like each of those classes, and then you're going to move into having a music therapy class.
Right.
At some point.
So we'll stay on this train just for a while longer, and then I want to get to your genre of choice. With the music therapy degree, what exactly is the plan? Like, what do you do with that?
Well, music therapy is really cool. You can do it in a lot of different things. Like if someone, for example, if they have a disability that causes them to have trouble, like moving their hands or something like that.
Yeah.
Or if, they were in an accident or something and like they had surgery or something, where like their muscles in their hands are like weakened and stuff. You can like teach them how to play an instrument, and they can learn, like they can have fun doing therapy. So it's like you can incorporate it into physical therapy. You can also you can pick a song and you can have them listen to it, and then you say, okay, how does this relate to you? Like, what do you think of this song? Or like, what do you think the meaning of this song is? We actually, when I went for music major for a day, we got to sit in on music therapy class. It was really, really cool. And she played the song, like just a little chunk. And it was like, so what's the meaning of it? And you think a song, means this. Well, she went around the room and everybody had an entirely different idea of what the meaning was.
The beauty of music.
Yeah. And it was, what it is your interpretation of it is an insight to something that you're going through, what you're thinking. So it's a way to like slowly open up about something too, so you can do that kind of therapy. It's really, really cool. And I have an interest in like medical stuff and mental, like psychology and stuff.
Yeah.
So
correct me if I'm wrong, but I've read studies that they use music therapy with autistic children a lot, especially singers, children that are nonverbal. And so I've seen studies where they will bring in a music therapist, someone who's a singer, and get these children to eventually be slightly verbal by, singing songs and using their voices in different ways, and that eventually leads to some sort of speech. I've seen that. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I actually have not seen that. I have seen some really cool things with like using music to bring back memories for patients with Alzheimer's and stuff, though. Like music is powerful, and to me it is the coolest thing in the entire world. That's part of why I love music so much. I just think it's like this powerful thing that we haven't even totally unlocked yet.
That's awesome. Well, I would say that you seem very passionate about it, and you should definitely stick with it. I mean, it's a fantastic degree, and it still allows you to be a musician, but also tap into those other aspects. So I love it. But let's get to the genre. So you're wearing the hat. Country music, right?
Yes, I got the boots too.
Yes, you do have the boots as well. And the belt buckle, and like it's just all very,
yes.
I'm getting very glam country vibes. I don't know.
Somewhat, yes.
I don't know how you feel about that that title I just gave you, but I'm getting like very like glam country.
I like it.
I like it. Maybe you should describe yourself as that.
I'm a glam country singer.
Why not?
I kind of like that. It actually has a cool ring to it.
I like it too. All right. Well, if you keep it, let me know. I want credit. Kidding. All right. So why country music?
Well, growing up, that's what my parents listened to a lot. So I had a lot of influence from country. Plus, I love the storytelling of it. I love like the realism. I feel like, a lot of times pop music is more like a fun song. Like sometimes I feel like a lot of like the mainstream pop music is fun stuff to listen to rather than something to sit and like dive into emotions.
Forgive me if I offend anyone, but I call pop music of today mindless pop.
I can agree with that.
Some of it's very catchy, and I do listen to it from time to time. But like, I listen to today's pop music when I want to shut my brain off, and that's why I call it mindless pop. Like, if I just want sounds and rhythms and beats and random notes in the background, well, it's time for today's pop.
Yeah, I definitely, there are some good songs out there.
Sure,
but
there
you
are exceptions to the rule, but in general.
And I'm kind of thinking that like even like some modern country almost feels like it's turning into very pop country.
Okay, so that was my next question that I wanted to ask you. Country today is very, very poppy. For me, it definitely falls under the mindless pop category, and if I'm being honest, I won't listen to it because I remember the country from back in the day, and even country in like the 90s, and I will say up to the early 2000s. I'm like, okay, this is still country music. So my question for you is, your style of country, because I know you write originals, which we will touch on next, is it more reminiscent of 90s to early 2000 country, or is it more like today's country?
Well, I'm kind of trying to create like my own kind of sound with some of that. I want to mix like aspects of 90s country because that's my personal favorite, and some modern country since that's what everyone's listening to. I kind of want to combine the two things a little bit.
You have to make yourself relevant if you want to be discovered and heard and people to,
Right. And my guitarist, Scotty Ruffner, helps a lot with that because he's so good at putting like little twists on like the guitar parts. Like it's incredible to me how significant of a difference you can make with a really, really good guitar part that sounds like a 90s country song. You're like, now that
it changes the entire sound of the song.
Yes. It's like all of a sudden it clicks and you're like, that's what it's supposed to sound like.
All right, cool. So let's talk about songwriting. I had asked you prior to being on camera roughly how many songs you've written, because you're fairly new to the songwriting thing, correct? So you said 7 songs.
Yes.
Now I know me personally, not everyone's like this, but I have a formula to how I write. I'm very lyric driven, so like I think of lyrics and then I write my notes and everything around that. That's how I do it. So I'm just curious, do you have a process to how you write your music?
It kind of depends. I think, every time it's a little bit different. Sometimes I sit down with a lyric idea, and sometimes I sit down with nothing at all except emotions that I just want to like spew it out onto a page. And usually I do start with that. I literally, if you look through my notebooks, you'll find bulleted lists. It's like, okay, my friend made me really mad today. All right, I put their name at the top and I just start like going off on this page. But then it turned like I'll take like pieces of that, or I'll reword things, or I'll try to make it rhyme, and I'll kind of start building. Like I'll strum on my guitar and I'll like throw my capo on some random fret and just like strum some chord progression that I know and see if it like sounds right. And it's kind of like there's like no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's kind of hard to explain because I kind of just sit down and see what sounds right, and then it will like flow if I'm in the right mood.
So basically, if it feels right, if you're in the right mood and you're scrolling through your notebook and you're like, I love this line that I wrote maybe, I don't know, a month ago, and you're strumming the right chords, it'll happen.
Kind of, yeah.
Cool. Roughly how long would you say it takes you to write a song?
It depends on the song. I've written a song in one night before, and I've written a song over the course of like months before.
Would you say that, just out of my own curiosity once again, the song that you wrote in one night, would you say that that song's easier for you to play, like you're connected to it more? Do you find that those songs are easier in general, or do you find that the ones that you put more work into are more rewarding? Or do you not know yet?
I don't know.
That's a fair answer too. I mean, you're new to all this.
I mean, the one song that I wrote that took me like months to write, I really like it, but I have to say it's not on my top of like favorite songs. And I think it's because like there's like this stress around it. Like I tend to like, obviously, you overthink your own work more than anybody else. You're your own worst critic. So this song that went through so many like evolutions, like the song started off like it was something that happened with a friend, and at the time when I was writing it, I was very like confused because part of me was sad that I wasn't friends with this person anymore, and part of me was angry. So every time I sat down to write it, I was in a different mood, so it never like settled in until like a few months later I was like, I got it. So, but like then I was like, is it really right?
You needed time to let it simmer. So like it started out with something very raw and something that had just happened, and then a few months went by and you were in a completely different place.
Yes.
But I have a song like that too, very much like that. In fact, I need to. My bandmates added another verse to it, so I need to go back and write another verse. And I originally wrote that song over a year ago. And I'm going to be adding another verse to it. So it's like I'm in a completely different headspace now than what, so I get that 100%. But that doesn't mean that it's, how do I want to put it? It doesn't mean that it's still not relevant. It just takes on a different shape, a different life.
Right. I think what happens is just, like I think that I spent so much time critiquing it and not liking it.
Yes.
That when it finally sounded like that I liked it, I was like, well, is it really good enough? And then, I recorded it too, and I listened to it for days on end and had, struggled with some of the vocals and stuff one day because I was having like some allergy stuff that was getting in the way. And it just, I think it has like a stigma. Is that the right word? I don't know.
Yes.
Like a stigma around it that it's like this stressful song.
Yes.
So like I love it.
You need to put it away for a year and then bring it back out.
Yeah, like I love it and hate it all at the same time. We have a love-hate relationship.
Let's talk about recording. You brought up recording. You said you recorded that song. Do you currently have any singles, EPs, or albums out?
I do not yet. However, I am working on something. We recorded three songs.
Okay.
Fairly recently, and we're still kind of trying to figure out how to get it out there. So I don't know when it's going to be out, but the goal is to get it on like like Spotify, and like put it on YouTube and put it on iTunes. Kind of like all the general stuff.
Yes, do that. Put it out on all the general stuff. And if you have 3 songs, generally 3 to 5 songs is an EP. Put it out there as an EP. Why not? And then put it on all the platforms and see what happens. See who bites. Mm-hmm. Any ideas as to when it may be available, even if as singles? Do you have any thoughts of when you might drop them as singles? Or?
I'm not sure. First off, we haven't quite figured out how to like go about all of it yet, because there's like a copyright process, and we're trying to figure out like the right way to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that within the next year I'll have everything out.
Are you recording everything yourself, or are you doing this in a studio?
I'm doing it in a studio.
What studio?
I am blanking on the name of it.
That's okay.
I know it was something kind of weird that was like a made up word kind of thing that was like mixing something together, I think.
What area are you recording in? Are you over by school in Greensburg?
It was Mount Pleasant area, I believe.
Okay. Well, if it comes to you while we continue talking, blurt it out. So you are recording everything in a studio. You've recorded 3 thus far. So as far as when this material will be ready, what social media platforms can people go to hear this music?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Chelsea Singing, which is just CHELSEASINGING. And you can find me at the same, if you search the same thing on Facebook, you can find me there, and all my updates on that stuff would be on both. And if you're interested in also hearing music, you can find me on YouTube at Chelsea Biehl, CHELSEABIEHL. I post some stuff on there. I have covers. I do have one original on there, which is actually what I'm going to sing today. So yeah, I'm working on getting some more stuff on there too. And that's where it would be when it comes out, it'll be on there.
Perfect. So let's talk performing and COVID and the mess that we're dealing with, all of us musicians are dealing with right now. Where would you typically perform before all this mess?
I perform a lot at Brandy's on Main in downtown Irwin. That's kind of like my home base. I guess you could say that's kind of where I got my start with doing like paid shows and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I have open mics there. I go to open mics there. They have open mics there on Thursdays. And then I'll do like shows because they have like an upstairs, which is like the restaurant, and then they have like a bar downstairs. It's the Brandy's basement. They have a stage. It is beautiful down there. Like, I don't know, like it just is like a really cool setting. Like it kind of has like almost like a rustic, like speakeasy feel or something. There's like literally a sign that says speakeasy, like just like a cool theme, you know?
Well, you made me want to go.
It's a really nice place, and they have some really awesome people that go there.
Cool.
Like even like the people that host when I'm not like, because I host sometimes, but I don't host all the time. Like the people who are in charge of like the sound and stuff, their band plays and they're really fun to watch and stuff. I've seen some really cool people there. But yeah, I usually play there. Sometimes I kind of will play at like some like festivals and stuff around the area and stuff.
I know COVID has put no one's really performing right now except for maybe some outside gigs and random things going on.
Yeah.
I know it's put a big question mark on for 2021, but do you have anything booked for 2021?
I do have something. Oh, another place I perform at is Helltown Brewing at both locations in Mount Pleasant and in where are they? I can't think of it. But I do have a show coming up at Helltown Brewing in Mount Pleasant sometime in March.
In March.
Yes.
So right now that's the only thing on the books currently.
Currently that's what I have booked, yes.
But you are available for private gigs. You're available to do festivals, events. Hopefully in the summer months we'll be back to normal, so we'll be back to festivals. So let's say someone would want to book you for a country act. Would the best place to reach you be the Facebook page, or what would you recommend?
I would recommend, you can find me on either one. If you can find me on Instagram or Facebook, I check both regularly, and I would receive both and I would respond to both. So whichever is easiest.
Fantastic.
Most convenient.
And so what's the plan, long-term plan, like 5 years from now? What if you could give me your ultimate goal without worrying about anything else stopping you, what would be the plan for 5 years from now?
Go to Nashville and try to make it big as a country singer.
All right.
I almost went to Nashville, but then COVID happened, so.
Oh, so you were planning on going?
We were going to visit. We have a family member that lives there, and we were going to go and stay for like a week and just kind of see what we could find down there, try to get into like the Bluebird Cafe and stuff and see. Yeah. But it didn't happen.
So now you're just kind of waiting.
Yes.
But that is in the books, to go down to Nashville, kind of play at some venues and roll the dice.
Yeah.
And record in general, right?
Yes.
Very cool.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, Chelsea, it was lovely talking to you, especially because, you're so young and fresh and just starting this whole journey. So it was really great. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
I think that's all.
Awesome. Well, everyone, sit tight. We will be right back with the music after a short break.
At Armstrong, our employees take great pride in supporting the community. Here is a historic landmark that makes our hometown special. The Connellsville Canteen is southwestern PA's only World War II museum and home to Harry Clark's Indian Creek Valley Railroad display. Visitors can feel America's greatness through the history, stories, and memorabilia of Fayette County in the 1930s and 40s. Brought to you by the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Catch all your favorite local programming on Channel 100 or on YouTube.
All right, this is my original song, Why?
Here I am, alone in my room, thinking about how I care for you. Knowing that I can't go back, I got too much to lose. I wasn't really your friend, just someone you could use. Why do you do the things you do? Why do you gotta be so rude? Why is it always about you? Tell me what I'm supposed to do. Why can't it all be over? Never around when things get tough. I think that I finally had enough. I've tried and tried, but it has to be your way. So I guess there's nothing left to say but bye, goodbye. Why do you do the things you do? Why do you gotta be so rude? Why is it always about you? Tell me what I'm supposed to do. Why can't it all be over? I wish you well in all you do. I hope that things work out for you, but in the end, I hope you'll see what it is that you've done to me. Why do you do the things you do? Why do you gotta be so rude? Why is it always about you? Tell me what I'm supposed to do. Why can't it all be over? I think it's finally over.
All right, this next one is also an original. This is Ain't Love, a Beautiful Thing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know if I will ever find someone like you again in my life. The way you stare, the way you care, deep inside, though you try to hide, but I see right through. I thought you knew this way I feel. I can't believe it's real. There will never be anyone ever again that makes me feel like I can stand against the world. Who'd have thought that it was you all along, the only one to make me smile, kick back up and like a child. No matter what I'm going through, I'm never alone when I'm with you. Hey, baby. Ain't love a beautiful thing? Now I'm an open book, and it's so new to me. But with just one look, I open easily, and I don't understand how you can take my hand and take me far away to such a happy place. It's all the little things that make you who you are. I love it when you sing. We're driving in your car, and no matter what, you'll always be my best friend. There will never be anyone ever again who makes me feel like I can stand against the world. Who'd have thought that it was you all along, the only one to make me smile, kick back laughing like a child. No matter what I'm going through, I'm never alone when I'm with you. Hey, baby. Ain't love a beautiful thing? This feeling I can't shake, and every breath I take, nothing could ever change the way I'm feeling with you next to me. Oh, 'cause there will never be anyone ever again that makes me feel like I can stand against the world. Who'd have thought that it was you all along, the only one to make me smile, kick back laughing like a child. No matter what I'm going through, I'm never alone when I'm with you. Hey, baby. Ain't love a beautiful thing? Ain't love a beautiful thing? Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Ain't love a beautiful thing? This next one is another original. This one's my personal favorite. This is my newest original called Game Over. Hope you like it. Ready, Scotty? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. You were calling me baby, had me thinking that maybe things could work out this time. Then I realized your love was just a lie. The only reason that you came was to play some twisted game. 'Cause you only want me when I don't want you. Don't you see what you're putting me through? Every time I tried moving on, you came back to lead me on. This is game over, I got closure, because I see you'll only ever want me when I don't want you. I gave you a second chance, but you threw it all away. Unbelievable, the things that you would say, that everything was a ruin, and I blamed you for everything. Loving you was like a fairy tale without a happy ending. But you came in and never listened. Tell me why you don't just walk away. I don't want you. You only cause me pain. That 6 months down the drain. You cheated and lied and you always denied, but everybody knows. And you say I'm expecting too much, but really you weren't giving me enough. Saying I was too good for you. Honey, ain't that the truth? I should've listened to you all along. I'm done with all your games, 'cause it always ends the same. 'Cause you only want me when I don't want you. Don't you see what you're putting me through? Every time I tried moving on, you came back to lead me on. This is game over, I got closure, because I see you'll only ever want me when I don't want you. All right, this next one is my original song, My Best Friend. I hope you like it. 1, 2, 3. I remember when she called, telling me you'd soon be gone. I couldn't bear it, the thought of a life without you here right by my side. You were always the one I came running to when there was something I was going through. How do I pick up the pieces? How do I move on? Who do I talk to? How do I get through now that you're gone? God, please, if you can hear me, give me back my best friend. I hope that will be okay. I knew you'd leave someday, but I never expected it to end this way. Silent phones, 'cause you're not home. I'm feeling so alone. This world's all wrong without you. There's no one I can talk to. Mama, I'm sorry I can't be strong
right, we're going to do a few covers for you. This is Joey by Sugarland.
What if I said yes? What if I'd gone out that night? What if you turned left? Everything would have turned out alright. What if I spoke up? What if I took the keys? What if I had tried a little harder instead of always trying to please? Joey, I'm so sorry. Oh, can you hear me? Joey, I'm so sorry. What if I said no? What if we never fell in love? What if we had gone slow or a little bit faster and broken up? Would I know this hurt? Would I feel this pain? Do you know that with all I have left in my very last breath, I will call your name? Joey, I'm so sorry. Oh, can you hear me? Joey, I'm so sorry. Were you sad? Were you scared? Did you whisper a prayer to be free? Was it quiet and cold? Was it light or too dark to see? And did you reach for me? Joey, I'm so sorry. Oh, can you hear me? Joey, I'm so sorry. Oh, can you hear me? Joey, I'm so. Joey, I'm so sorry.
All right, this one is Burning House by Cam.
I had a dream about a burning house. You were stuck inside, I couldn't get you out. I laid beside you and pulled you close, and the two of us went up in smoke. Love isn't all that it seems. I did you wrong. I'll stay here with you until this dream is gone. I've been sleepwalking, been wandering all night, trying to take what's lost and broken, make it right. I've been sleepwalking, this burning house. I see you at a party and you look the same. I could take it back, but people don't ever change. Wish that we could go back in time, and I'd be the one you thought you'd find. Love isn't all that it seems I did you wrong. I'll stay here with you until this dream is gone. I've been sleepwalking, been wandering all night, trying to take what's lost and broken, make it right. I've been sleepwalking, too close to the fire, but it's the only place that I can hold you tight. In this burning house, the flames are getting bigger now. In this burning house, I can hold on to you somehow. In this burning house, oh, and I don't wanna wake up in this burning house. I've been sleepwalking, been wandering all night, trying to take what's lost and broken, make it right. I've been sleepwalking, too close to the fire, but it's the only place that I can hold you tight. In this burning house. This is Homecoming Queen by Chelsea Ballerini. Hey, homecoming queen, why do you lie when somebody's mean? Where do you hide? Do people assume you're always alright? Been so good at smiling most of your life. Look damn good in the dress, zipping up the mess, dancing with your best foot forward. Does it get hard to have to play the part? Nobody's feeling sorry for you. So what if I told you the world wouldn't end if you started showing what's under your skin? What if you let them all in on the line? Even the homecoming queen cries. Hey, homecoming queen, how's things at home? Still walking on eggshells when that curtain's closed. Did your daddy teach you how to act tough, or more like your mama, sweep it under the rug? Look damn good in the dress, zipping up the mess, dancing with your best foot forward. Did you want the crown, or does it weigh you down? Nobody's feeling sorry for you. So what if I told you the world wouldn't end if you started showing what's under your skin? What if you let them all in on the line? Even the homecoming queen cries. And what if I told you the sky wouldn't fall? You lost your composure, such a helpless fall. Not everything pretty sparkles and shines. Even the homecoming queen cries. Oh yeah, even the homecoming queen cries. Hey, homecoming queen, why do you lie when somebody's mean? where do you hide?